Buongiorno, everyone. Welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. We've got player ratings, joined by the lovely Kendall to try and cheer you all up after another defeat, another game without a goal. Is that 9 games now? 11 hours, something like that? I'm starting to lose count. I'm starting to lose interest, if truth be told. But yeah, just before we jump into the player ratings, Kendall, how are you feeling after another loss?
I'm just tired of it now. I don't even have the energy to laugh. He honestly gives me like an irrational rage. He triggers me to like beyond belief. Honestly, like pure anger. You're like, I was never one to like personally insult him in terms of like, like actual insults. I always just used to keep it to the football. But he's actually stupid.
Starting to take the piss now,
I don't honestly know what to say about him at this point. I don't know whether he's going senile or what, but he's actually, the stuff he comes out with is unbelievable. Like, it's got a ridiculous point now. I'm just sick of it. Even this, like, I didn't even watch his post-match, and I was just asking everyone, like, what did he say? And honestly, what I have seen is...
It's bizarre, isn't it?
It's actually embarrassing. So embarrassing.
I've just, like, we'll get to Steve Bruce in a second, but yeah, I've seen something just pop up there from his post-match conference saying, like, he's seen enough to be inspired or motivated. I can't remember the word, but I'm like, what are you saying? I don't understand, but we'll get into Steve Bruce at the end. We'll go through the players one by one, and I'll let you start off in goal with Karl Darlow.
I mean, to be honest, Karl didn't have the best game, and I am not going to lie to you.
Nah, he didn't really.
The first goal was an issue. I know it was kind of Schär's fault, really, but I mean, Karl Darlow didn't even get his hands to it, the first goal.
Look, he was trying to hit it clear. Like
it was.
Do you not have arms?
Yeah, it was a mistake. I don't know what was going on there. 3. Only because I've just read the stats before I came on here, and they had, I think, 5 or 7 shots on target, and they had 14 shots in total. So could have been worse because the way that they were, the chances were coming for them. Could have been worse. 3 for Karl Darlow.
I think he's maybe starting to lose his cool a little bit now. I think since Dubravka's back, I think he's trying a little bit too hard. Like Arsenal during the week, like he had like a simple pass back to him, and he just lost his footing.
Yeah.
Like sliced one out for a corner. Like today, like Schär sliced it high, but he could have reached up and punched that away. Like he didn't even extend his arms. Like I think he's starting to lose his cool a little bit now. I think he's massively under pressure. Yeah. So play 5 at the back, surprisingly. Manquillo came in. Yeah, it is like when the lineup came out, it looked like we were playing like a 4-4-2 or something. And I was actually quite happy to see Manquillo back. Yeah. Like I called for it in my lineup prediction video, pending a 4-4-2, because I think he probably is the best fullback we have available.
Yeah, I agree.
But as a wing back, not really. Like I'd probably rather see Yedlin or Murphy there as a wing back.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
This is what I mean. Stupid decisions that we can
mental,
see
man.
from miles away. Stevie Wonder can bloody see that. Do you know what I mean? He can.
Like we know Steve Bruce doesn't do his homework on other teams. We've seen that in the past. But does he even do his homework on his own team? Like I thought the starting lineup, the positions, the formation, everything, the subs, everything was just fucking balmy today. But despite Manquillo playing as a wing back instead of a fullback, I actually thought he had a pretty good game. I thought he was possibly the best of a bad bunch. Like he wasn't outstanding by any means, but that just goes to show you how shit the rest of the players were. But yeah, I thought Manquillo had a decent game. At least he tried. So I'll give him a 5. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for that. And joining the defence, which was a little bit of a surprise, was Isaac Hayden.
He didn't do anything wrong necessarily.
Yeah.
He just didn't really do anything right.
Yeah.
I don't mind Isaac Hayden at centre back if we've got no cover.
Yeah.
I don't mind him. He's proved in the past that he can do it. Obviously, he always gets a yellow card most games. It's very rare that he doesn't. Always does stupid fouls. And actually, in fact, I think it was maybe the first 15-20 minutes. There was a possibility he did a really, really bad challenge. I can't remember on who. He got away with it. And I just thought, oh, God, man, like, not again. I can't go through this again. I mean, I don't think you can really say the defence did a good job tonight, but he didn't necessarily he wasn't the worst out of them, I must admit. So he can have a 4, I guess, just because I like him.
Yeah, that was what was like winding me up as the game was going on about the formation, because he was coming like from the back and making some tackles like higher up the field, which is exactly where you need him to be, as like a defensive midfielder, which is what we should have been playing. We only had 2 centre backs available, so why didn't we just play them as a flat back 4 and play Hayden further upfield? That's where we need to be, because we need that balance in the middle of the field. Like Hayden's the defensive aspect, and we could have Shelvey alongside him, although I'd rather probably have Matty, but like that balance, a defensive player and one that can go further forward. Instead, because we're out of options, so I'll just play centre back, mate. I thought he had a good game. Like, he's not a centre back. I think he got caught out a little bit, but you got to give him the benefit. He's just chucked in. Like, he actually ended the game for the last 20 minutes or so as a right back. For fuck's sake, man, Brucey. Like,
just mental, just absolutely mental decisions. You can't be asking. You're like, well, obviously we'll get onto it in a bit, but like, there's certain things where he'll have like 4 wingers on the bench and then none. It just doesn't make any sense. Absolutely bizarre.
And to be fair to Hayden, I actually thought he did pretty well when he was covering at right back. He was actually getting forward and trying to stick some crosses in, but that's not
your job. But I don't think he did a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't think he had a terrible game by any means.
But he spent the majority of the game either as a centre back or a right back, which he should have been neither.
Yeah.
We'll go on to Lascelles, and this guy's frustrating the hell out of me. Like, particularly as the captain, I can tell in the last 5-10 minutes just how deflated he felt. I think he knows. I think he understands. Like, that's why I kind of like Lascelles in that aspect. Like, as a guy, like as a captain, I like him, but as a centre back, he's fucking woeful, man.
Yeah,
I can't get away with him anymore. Like, I don't know if you've seen like the end of the game. I think, like you said, you missed like the last few minutes, but at the end of the game, when the full-time whistle went, the body language of the players was quite startling. Everyone looked like they'd been shot in the gut. They looked like they'd either just been relegated or they'd lost like an FA Cup final. Like, everyone was
like people had their head on their hands, and
everyone was on their knees, head in their hands. Like, Lascelles looked mad deflated, which you can understand, but as the leader, he should be trying to pick them up. Like, whatever bullshit's happening on the field, he should be the one grabbing the players by the scruff of the neck and trying to motivate them forward. But I think just everyone, like ourselves included, just how deflated and disinterested we are at the minute. And I think Lascelles is the proven one for that. But he's been frustrating for me for a long time. Way before, like, even he's just
I agree.
Way too inconsistent as a centre back. So another poor performance from him today. He can have a 3. Fabian Schär.
His contract up in the summer, and I truly do not care if he goes at all. I think he's an absolute liability. And look, there's no denying that he was vital under Rafa. Like, honestly, he brought the best out in him. He was unbelievable.
Player of the season.
Like, he was kind of playing as like a CDM a little bit. And it's just the way he is now. I'm absolutely shocked that that's the same person. I really, really am. And I don't. Obviously, he's got to have some blame because it's him. He goes on the pitch. He does stuff. He acts lazy. He makes stupid, idiotic decisions, like for the first goal today. But obviously, whatever it is, just isn't suiting him. And when you've got a player like that who was so important, and then he's come now and he just looks like an absolute, honestly, like genuinely, like a chocolate animal would be more useful than him at the moment in defence. Then sometimes he has like a really good game, and then other times.
I thought today he had his moments.
Yeah, it's just, oh my god. If
every so often he shows glimpses
tonight, like the worst out of the defence tonight. You can have a 2. That's me being nice.
Every so often I feel like he shows glimpses. Like today, like maybe 2 or 3 moments you think, oh, go on, son, like that's what we're talking about. But the rest of the time, you're just kind of like treading on eggshells, like at the defense when Schär's there. Like, don't know if it's his new man bun or whatever, but something's not working. But you say, like, when he first signed his first year under Rafa, he was our player of the season. I think it was maybe even that January, maybe the January after, where Man City were desperate for a centre back, and there was rumours of a 20-25 million bid incoming from them.
Yeah,
and we were like, don't sell him for anything because maybe give him a couple of years, he could be worth 50.
Yeah.
But now, as you say before, like, his contract's coming to an end, and if he goes on a free, then so be it. Who cares? Left wing back, Jamal Lewis, and oh, fucking hell, he's another one. He's similar to Jamaal Lascelles for me. I honestly, game after game, I want to see him start. Every lineup prediction I do, I want to see him in there because I've trust in him. I just really, really want him to do well. We spent good money on him. He came in with a good reputation. Liverpool wanted him. Klopp was after him. He's got plenty of national caps. He's got a good reputation behind him, but I don't think I've ever been impressed by him for as much as I've seen him this season.
Against West Ham, first game, and he was all right. And since then, he's just got worse. He's absolute pony now. Honestly, I feel for him. I really feel for him because at 22-year-old, that's not, you're not wanting to be having the shit time of your career. Like, because you're young, you need to kick on for me. You need to do bigger and better. And at the moment, my God, he's just got no positional awareness, no defensive awareness whatsoever. And this is why I always advocate him to start as a wing back rather than a full back. And it's just
definitely.
Honestly,
he can't play as a full back. Yeah, he's defensive awareness is just way too bad to be as a out and out full back. Like, that probably is the best part of his game. Getting forward, trying to dribble with the ball, because he has got that pace and he has got the energy. And when he gets into good positions, he's got a wicked ball in. Like, we've seen that in the West Ham game, on his debut. Like, I hadn't really seen much of him at Norwich, to be fair, so I was kind of blind to him when he came. But on his debut, when he was sticking a few crosses in, I was like, he's mint. He'll be class. But we don't even really see that much of him. Like, I can't remember the last time I seen him stick a good cross in.
No.
Yeah, it's so frustrating for me. He can have a 2 of the day. His positioning pisses me off. Into the midfield, and I don't even know where people are playing, to be fair. I've got them all down as centre mids because I've got fucking no idea what formation we actually played. But we can start with Jeff Hendrick.
Oh, he's just, my God. I cannot get away with this man. I'm
90
sorry,
minutes
I
today.
can't. I've said it millions of times. Like, I do not understand what he possibly brings to this team at all that is beneficial. I don't know why he starts over people like Matty, for example. Like,
mad.
I just don't get it at this point. I cannot. As you say, he sliced a shot at the end of the game, and that's just what he does. He just.
I know. If you don't laugh, you'll cry.
Things like.
There was another moment right at the end. Like, he passed it back. Like, he played a suicide ball to, I think it was Lascelles. I forgot about that, actually. I think that was in stoppage time. He just passed it back off the edge of his own box, fizzed it into Lascelles on the edge of the 6th. And Lascelles just didn't really know what to do with it, so he just sliced it clear. It's like no one's got a clue what to do. The passing, the communication.
It's too much.
It's just abysmal. From front to back, it's shocking.
If we're given Schär and Lewis, who were awful twos, he can have a 2 as well, because I think he was horrendous. I just can't. Honestly, if he plays again, I'm just going to end up screaming. I'm going to have to go and buy a punch bag. The irrational rage I feel about this team is just next level. I just kind of cope.
When you look at the options we had on the bench, we had Matty there. We brought Saint-Maximin and Fraser on. We brought Gayle on. We had Murphy. We even had Joe Lint on. We had options there. Why the fuck is he playing 90 minutes? I cannot get away with that. I've got no idea. He was a free signing, and I defended that signing. Everyone was saying, "Oh, it's a shit signing." I was like, "Well, it's for free." To be fair, if he comes in as a squad player, it's all right. But he's playing way too regularly. I'd want a refund.
He should never be a regular sign.
Nah. I want a fucking refund for that free signing.
Oh,
it's a shocker.
Man, it's tiring.
Jonjo Shelvey, he's another one. Way too inconsistent. Way too frustrating to watch. All day today, I think his game plan was just pump the ball up. That's what Brucey must have said to him. As soon as you get the ball, mate, just whack it upfield. There's no watching. Just blind, just launching it upfield. I think 90% of them didn't reach their man. I don't think Carroll really did enough today either to get onto the end of them, but that just was the tactic. I think it always is, really. You can see, he doesn't lift his head up. He just swings a foot at it. He knows he can ping it 40, 50, 60 yards. He's got that ability, but there's just no looking, no. He hasn't got a fucking clue.
If he doesn't ping a long ball, he doesn't do anything.
He's
nothing.
That's why I'd rather see Matty. Yeah, like I know Matty was a bit frustrating the other day. He didn't have his best game, but I think he brings more to the table. Like if we had like that 4-4-2 with Hayden playing as the deep line centre mid, Matty playing like a bit of a creative like free role in front of him. That's the best formation I think we've got in the centre mid at the minute. Nay Shelvey, nay Hendrick. Didn't want to see them cunts ever again. Like particularly Hendrick. Like say Shelvey's got his moments. Like on the very, very, very rare occasion, Shelvey can look like the best centre mid in the Premier League. But how often do we see that? Next to never.
1 in 15 games.
It's just so not good enough. Like I hate seeing him in the starting line now, like because he should be. He's technically gifted. He is one of the gifted players we've got, but it just looks like he just can't be fucking arsed. Like he just does what he wants, just launches the ball. That'll do. See you later. His crossing the day was a little bit better, to be fair. His corners, because every corner he hit him the other day. I know, like every corner the other day, like couldn't get past the first post. Today he put a good one in. I think Lascelles got a header that was cleared by Mings. I think it was going on target. So yeah, at least that was a minor improvement there. So he can have an extremely generous 4 for an improvement on his corners. Miguel Almirón I've got down as a centre mid, but fucking as if he actually was or not.
To be fair, I say this about Almirón every week. He's the only one really in that team who I feels like puts in a shift. Like you might not do the right things and you might not, have the best skills or whatever. Like even though really I think he is actually a decent player, to be honest. But just in this current team, it's just atrocious. I think he's the only one who actually works hard, I think, and tries to even direct the ball in somewhere, because the rest just do frig all. Like literally, it's getting to a point now. I can't even be asked with them. Like I really can't. He's a hard worker. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
He didn't really do much tonight at all, to be honest. He can have a 4 as well, just because I don't think he really put a foot wrong realistically. What can he do though? Like what can he really do in that horrible team?
The best thing we can do now, especially after seeing the substitutes that were made, like in future games, maybe against Leeds, I don't know, but like we've been saying on this channel all season, our best formation is a 4-2-3-1 when everyone's fit and healthy, which we'll have struggled this season with Fraser and Saint-Maximin and everyone being available, but they are now because they both came on the day. If we've got Saint-Maximin and Fraser on the wing, Miggy is a number 10, which is pretty much the only role he can play. He's not a winger. He's not a centre mid. He's not a striker. Number 10 is the only decent role, but we haven't got the squad, the availability for him to play that role at the minute. But if we can play like that, Wilson up top, Miggy number 10, Fraser and Maxi on the outside, Matty and Hayden in centre mid, that's the best we've got. And I hope to God we see that sooner or later, because as everyone's fit now, maybe not 100% match fit, but at least we're getting there. So it might not be Leeds on Tuesday, but in the next couple of weeks, I'd love nothing more than to see that formation with that personnel. But I like I said, Bruce doesn't do his homework. He probably hasn't got a fucking clue where his players' best positions are. So we'll probably never see that. We'll probably not get the best out of Miggy under Steve Bruce, but at least he tries. He's one of the very few that can probably hold his head up at the end of the game despite doing next to fuck all. Andy Carroll, touched on it before, just didn't really do enough. He's meant to be the target man. If we've got Shelvey and Schär just pumping the ball up for the crack, he's who you want to lie to. Like no one better in the Premier League since Peter Crouch retired. There's literally no one else you would rather have in your team if your formation is just bang it up long. No, Wikipedia's just brought up Peter Crouch. Not the day, Siri. I like Andy Carroll is the perfect player you'd want in your team if you're just going to pump the ball up long, but he just wasn't getting on the end of it. He just didn't really look that interested today. Like over the last few games, to be fair, I've actually been impressed with Andy Carroll because he has got this reputation of someone who's on the wrong side of 30, got a long, awful history with injuries. So you expect him to run for 20 minutes and need about 2 months out. But the last few games, like he has been class. He's been back and forward on the back line, on the wing, covering everywhere. But today there was none of that. I don't know if he was just tired, maybe a bit fatigue sat in. Maybe Bruce is asking a little bit too much of him. But yeah, I thought he was poor the day, so he can have a 3. Partner Callum Wilson.
I feel for him, I do, because
I know.
Like,
another game of nothing.
Games, like he just doesn't get anything, like absolutely any service at all. And as we know, he's not like, he's not a guy who's going to head the ball or anything. That's what you need Andy Carroll for. When he's not doing that, what's Callum Wilson expected to do, truly? Because we don't direct the ball into the box like with any accuracy whatsoever. We don't have like a Saint-Maximin who can dribble into the box and, give a little tap in to Callum Wilson. Like we don't have that at all right now at this point. So he's just got no chance at all of any service because we don't have the players who can provide him. Like, he's a goal poacher. Like, we just don't have anyone who can provide any balls in the box at all. Like, we had one shot on target today. One. Like, that's embarrassing, man. Like, it's really embarrassing. And he's just the last 3 games, he's just been ghost. But you can't help it when we're not.
No.
Like, we're not in their half at all. Like, you just can't help it. And I do feel for him, I really do. But I can't even really give him like a decent score, even though it isn't his fault, because he's not even like the type of player to track back or anything. Like, I really feel for him. He didn't do anything today. I mean, I can't even remember him barely touching the ball, to be honest. So he can have a 3, really. That's not even like nasty to him. It's just
I know. Like, I've been like this for the last couple of months. Like, I struggle to rate Callum Wilson because like he does try, but he has to track back. Like, that's not where you want him to be. You want him to be on the last line. But to get involved in the game, he has to come back. He has to try and do basically what Joe Litton did last season. He's got to come back, hold up play, link up. But then that was the problem last season, whether it was Joe Litton or Andy Carroll. Once the striker comes too far back, once we actually get the ball, there's no one in the box. Like he's just way too isolated. He tries, like, he's got work rate. That's all you can really say for him at the minute. But I've got him in my fantasy team at the minute, and I've been meaning to take him out. I've been meaning to take him out for the last couple of weeks, and I really feel sorry for him. At the start of the game, I seen on Sky Sports that Ollie Watkins had 9 games without a goal. So I thought, brilliant, I'm going to stick a bet on him. Yep. Like, that's what Newcastle do. If you're a player or you're a team in bad form, come to Newcastle, Bruce, you'll sort you clean out. Yep. So I thought I'm going to put I'm gonna put a bet on that, but I thought, to be fair, the odds will probably be shit. So I put a double on Wilson and Watkins both to score, and I thought, that's a fucking mistake. That's a fucking fiver down the drain because Wilson isn't going to get a sniff. Yeah. Watkins got his goal. Credit to him. Well done. But not for Callum Wilson again. That's the starting 11. We'll briefly touch on the subs because that game was gone by that point. 2 changes made on the 71st minute. None of them really got into the game. Saint-Maximin tried a bit playing on the left-hand side. He was keep getting given the ball, as the tactic always was. Give it to Allan. He'll do with the job. He's just, how long has he been out? He's been out for the last 9 weeks or something. He's bringing him on. Like, people were calling from the start. I knew that would have been the wrong thing to do. I'm pleased he didn't.
I wouldn't put it past bloody Steve Bruce. Like, I was honestly
I know, exactly. I actually thought it was because they'd been kind of teasing it on Twitter. Yeah. They were putting like his shirt when in the dressing room, and he was putting like the egg timer emoji or something. And I thought, well, he's starting. That's usually the way it goes. Like they kind of like try to tease you a little bit, but yeah. So he played 19 minutes, tried to get involved. He got hacked down a couple of times, just didn't look fit. Looked like he was getting injured, as he always does. He takes like 1 or 2 kicks to the ankles, and he just looks like he can't be arsed. Yeah, so that's pretty much exactly the same. That's what I don't miss about Saint-Maximin. Just gets a couple of niggles, then it's like, fucking hell, that can't be asked. So yeah, to be fair, I'm not even going to give any of them a rating just because the game was gone pretty much after half time, 2-0 down.
What could you do?
And throwing the towel in at half time.
When they came on was that we actually were in like their half a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I noticed. But other than that, what can we do? It's bloody it's down the drain by that point. Like, you kind of just change the whole game. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
But there were 2 good attacking changes. Ryan Fraser, the other one, I was massively calling for both of them. Like I say, I've been wanting to say that from the start. Yeah. Since the start of the season, Fraser and Maxi, either flank. That's gonna be the best way we can go forward. So yeah, I thought there were 2 great changes, but 19 minutes to go when we're 2-0 down. Oh, we're really going to get into this game? Oh, fuck. Like, Fraser hasn't really been fit all season. Maxi's just come back from 7 to 9 weeks out. Like, I think when Fraser first came on, he was getting involved on the right-hand side. He was showing a bit of pace, stuck a few crosses in. Looked like he was trying to change the game, but that was a brief 2-minute spell. Yeah. And then after that, nothing much after that. And Dwight Gayle, don't think he touched the ball. So yeah, we'll move on from them fucking wasted subs and get into the main man. Go on, Kendall. I'll let you run loose.
He needs to get out of this club now. I'm sick of it now. I really am. I've had enough. As I've said, I don't personally insult the bloke at all. Like, people call him cabbage and whatever. That's fair enough. I don't mind that. I'll keep it strictly to football. But is he stupid? Is he actually stupid in the head?
Game by game, it looks like that.
The things he says and the things he does is now beyond a joke. Yesterday, when he said that mighty Rafa comment, I could have drove to his house and just kicked off. Honestly, I felt like that's how angry I felt. He triggers us to a point where I feel like actual anger towards him. And I think he's just an idiot. And to come out after the game and say he was encouraged by a large part of that game. Are you watching the same fucking thing that we're watching every day? You can't be. You literally can't be. Because if you're encouraged by that, Jesus Christ, you literally need to be going managing Sunday League. Because I swear to God, if you think that's right for the Premier League and you're encouraged by that, that's not right. That is absolutely the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my entire life. They sit there saying, well, we don't have the squad to attack. Are you kidding us? We've got Miguel Almirón, Saint-Maximin, Ryan Fraser, even Jacob Murphy, for example, who can ping a cross in, Callum Wilson. How can you sit there and possibly tell everyone with such confidence that we don't have a squad to attack a team? How can you actually say that with?
You spent 100 million on it.
Exactly. If you spend 100 million and you don't have a squad to attack, bloody hell, no one wants to be giving you 100 million again. You were spending 70 of it on frigging Phil Jones. There was a bloody centre mid probably. Oh, honestly, I'm sick. It's enough's enough. Absolutely enough's enough now. His current form is like draw, loss, loss. Like,
another game with no goals.
Are you going to allow that to continue? Seriously. Like, is Mike Ashley stupid? I'm not having another McLaren. I really am not. I cannot deal with it. Like, honestly, we've been relegated twice. And even at that point, because the last relegation we had Rafa Benitez. So I think we kind of were on the wavelength that we were going to come back up anyway because we had the quality, we had the manager who could do that. And now I've never seen so many of our fans disengage with it. Just don't care anymore. And like, yes, there's times where we've been upset and there's times where we haven't wanted to watch it. And like, I remember everyone chucking the season tickets off the bridge and we got relegated into like 10-11 season. I remember that. And like, I've just never in my life seen the misery like I'm seeing right now. And it's
an all-time low, like, isn't it?
It's really, really sad. I cannot believe if now this happened today and he's not gone tomorrow, especially, I'm not saying Mike Ashley's going to go with his tail between his legs and say, oh, Rafa, please come back. Because that's even whether Rafa would come back. Like, I don't think he would. Do you know what I mean? Under this current state. Not. But if he doesn't do something now and go out and get an Eddie Howe, for example, I don't even care how long it's for. We need that new manager bounce over these next few weeks because now it was like we were a certain amount of points off relegation. Now we're only 7 points off a relegation zone. And there's teams like Fulham, Burnley, who are like kicking back on again now because they always do second half of the season. And we've got teams like Leeds, who we already got beat 5-2 off this season. And our defence is not enough to cope with their like incessant attack, even though they don't put the chances away and they do concede goals. We just, at this point in time, we just haven't got the personnel to deal with it at all. Then we've got teams like Everton, Southampton, Man United, Chelsea in the beginning of February. We are absolutely effed, mind. We are seriously, if we are in trouble. The transfer window's coming to an end. Just end it now. Just end everyone's suffering now. Just let him go. Because honestly, I can't even believe what comments he's going to come out with now. If that's what he thinks, he's encouraged and he's inspired by that. What he's going to do next, I honestly do not know. He is not even worth a rating out of my mouth because he can just, honestly, zero's too nice. He can just, I normally laugh about it. I'm like, if you don't laugh, you cry. And yes, that's true, but I cannot even.
It's taking the piss now.
Even force a laugh now. It's like, it is the piss take, absolute piss take now. Like,
we're seeing like the body language of the players coming off the pitch. Like, they all just look done in. I think the players are finally done. Like Steve Bruce, like he's got to be like. I know Ashley probably isn't gonna make a change. Like as much as we would all like to wake up in the morning and say Steve Bruce sacked, I highly doubt it. Like, we've got to wait until it's almost too late, as it was the previous 2 times where we went down, where we had to try and bring Shearer in for a little bit of motivation, where we had to try and bring Rafa in for a bit of motivation. It was too late. Like, not even like the great Alan Shearer and the great Rafa Benitez couldn't change it. We were done. That's when I think we'll make a change. And today's loss is put with down 1 on goal difference. We're down to 16th now. And the other teams like Fulham, Brighton, they're playing well. Fulham's looking really good under Scott Parker. Like, we are in serious danger. The run that we've got, it's not even funny anymore. Like, the last few weeks, you can't just like laugh about this, but week after week, another game without a goal. It's not fucking funny anymore. Like, it's an absolute joke. And something's got to be done.
Right on Twitter earlier that the way the games have been going, I think the last 10 games or something, on average, the way we've been playing, the points that we've not obviously got, we're on average to get beat 2-0, 2-1, 2-0 every game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's literally what's been happening. Like, and how can you sit there and think that that's normal? Like, the takeover is going to be off. I'm not even saying it's on the table right now, but if you are wanting a takeover and you want this takeover that you think that the club's going to, progress the club, that's off if we go down. So to me, it's very stupid if you don't look at that and think, oh God, like, I better do anything I can to, get this going. And I think, as I say, I don't think Rafa will come, but just in terms of like, if he doesn't want to spend money on players, the next best thing will be get a decent caliber of manager who would know how to work with the players. Then you're not spending money on players. And you only got to pay, a couple million to pay Steve Bruce off if you sack him. Like, that's like the viable option if you don't want to spend the money, but he's not even doing that. And as you say, I don't think he's going anywhere for the time being until like his hand is literally forced him a rating.
Yeah.
I just really don't, and that's what is making me not even want to care more, because I just think, well, why should I sit and watch this club go into decline? Like, do you know what I mean? We don't deserve that. We don't deserve to feel like this every frigging week. Like, it's embarrassing. It's just tragic now.
We touched on it during the live watch along. Like, apparently it's going to cost a 6-figure or 7-figure sum to get rid of Steve Bruce. So we know, like, Mike Ashley being the tight cunt that he is, like, you'll probably not want to do that. But so it costs him what, 1 million, 2 million, maybe 3 million to sack Steve Bruce. But if we're going down, that'll be the takeover done. Because in the end, it's going to cost you about 300 million, 350 million, whatever you're trying to sell the club for. Is that not good investment in your eyes? Like, keep it up. Get a good manager. Like, we brought Rafa in as one of the highest paid managers in the league. And fair enough, we didn't get any transfer budget. The players we brought in were shit like Hosselu. Whereas we're paying Steve Bruce pennies. So we're trying to give him the tools with the likes of Wilson and Saint-Maximin, Joe Linton, Fraser, people like that. Like, but he just hasn't got it. Like, we could bring anyone in. Like, and it sounds over dramatic if you're not a Newcastle fan watching this. It might sound over dramatic to you, but I really feel like anyone other than Steve Bruce right now could get better out of these players. And like, even the likes of Joey Barton, who's just been sacked off fucking Fleetwood. I'd rather have Joey Barton in. I say, like, 100%. No good caliber manager will come and work under Mike Ashley. I'd honestly question them. I would judge them if they took a job under Mike Ashley. Like, Rafa won't. I'd like to think Eddie Howe's probably got more self-respect for himself. Apparently the booking odds have been cancelled on Mark Hughes coming in. So that could be something that we're looking for, but that's pretty much just staying stagnant. That's just pretty stagnant, isn't it? Like, that's not going to improve at all. That's my fear. I'd love to wake up in the morning and say Steve Bruce gets sacked. We'll celebrate it for a few hours, couple of days maybe, and then he'll be replaced by someone similar, if not worse. And that's my biggest fear. Like, anyone thinking
takeover all along. Like, I don't want a takeover if it's just going to be the same old. We need someone who actually wants to invest in the club and progress us. Like, that's the same with the manager. I don't want to sack Steve Bruce if we're just going to get bloody Tony Pulis. Like, God, can you bloody imagine that? Honestly, just actual tragedy. Real crap now. Like, really, really bad.
We'll end it there. We've had a half an hour rant on bare negativity. It's Saturday night. Conor McGregor's on in a few hours, so I'm going to go and get a little bit of kip, and hopefully he wins. It'd be nice to see someone win for a change, because I'm fucking shite. Like, if Conor McGregor loses the night, I'm going to fucking flip my lid. But thank you very much for joining us again, Kendall. It's always a pleasure. Hope you have
Thank you for
a
having
good
me.
weekend. Hopefully, things are looking up until Tuesday, where it comes all around again. Cheers. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out Kendall as well. Yeah, link in the description. Thank you very much. Enjoy yourself.